All right, so let's compare the work. What did the mediums do that the low did not?
All right, well, as you can see, my low student used a circle map. And for the race strategies, my low student only used the first two and didn't quite get the gist of the R because they said, how did the sons act? So we need to work on restating.
Okay.
And then my medium student used a flow map for both stories, and they did use the race strategies, as you can see in here. They labeled it as they went.
Okay, good.
They did, they used a basic citation.
Is the citation connected to their answer?
Said that the sons in both passages were motivated by their fathers, but then when their citation, they said this proves that the sons were motivated by riches, so there's just a disconnect there.
Yes. So let's see what the difference is between the medium answer and the high.
Okay. This student did do a compare-contrast on both the passages.
Okay.
And they got the gist of it was about getting more money in each story. And they did use the race strategy, as you can see up here. They crossed off each one, and this student did use 2 citations that were relevant.
Okay. Yeah. So did they have one from each story so they could compare the two?
Yes.
Is that what the C and the C means?
Yes.
Okay. And did they do that in the medium sample?
This one only has 1 citation.
Okay. Okay. That's a good find. On to number 6. What strategies did they use or not use that will be helpful with your intervention or your reteach?
Well, I think that I will have to have them use it as a little checklist.
Okay.
So that they can go back and check to see, you know, we're requiring 2 citations if they have them in their passage.
So you want to record that at the bottom of your document? Okay. What else did you see that you could explicitly use in your reteach to help them?
I think being more specific in what map to use, because all 3 students used a different thinking map.
Okay.
So maybe going over that and being able to hone in on what map to use.
Okay. And do you have strategies for them to know which keys or things to look for in the passage so they'll know which map to use?
So the meaning of each map, I think I may need to be a little bit more clear on.
Okay. So some work on pulling out the keywords in the question as clues to the thinking map.
Yes.
That'd be very helpful.
Yep.
Okay. Let's write that down too.
Keywords in the question.
All right. So the other thing that we noticed your medium was missing was that they lost their continuity of their train of thought. They gave one thing as their answer, and then when they wrote their explain, they had a different answer there. We think of a strategy that they could use to self-edit.
I think that maybe we could work on making sure that their R and their E connect, but they can also go through and possibly underline or highlight and make sure that, you know, they're keeping continuity when they're going through.
Okay, nice. How many of your struggling students are ELs, English learners?
Well, I have 5 that have not yet been redesignated.
Okay.
But although they have been, I'm still noticing a struggle.
Okay. And what do you think in particular was difficult for your English learners in this?
Well, I think just this type of story is challenging for them when it's a fairy tale type story. And as I look at the question, the word duped could have confused them. And even, you know, what motivated the sons, you know, that word could have kind of been tricky for them. So definitely vocabulary, I think, played a big part in this.
Okay. And how are you working on vocabulary with those students?
I may need to do more front loading of the vocabulary and just idiomatic expression sometimes.
Right. Okay, good. So based on your analysis, what will your action plan be? So we're going to move across the page, and then based on your test results, which group are you in here? Above 80% or below 80%?
We would be below.
Okay, let's decide on the strategy that you're going to use here.
Okay. I think just some guided discourse would be helpful in possibly comparing a medium and a high. I could use multiple samples
Okay.
and have them get out a race checklist and really look at both pieces to see what might be missing.
Nice.
I think I may need to whole class model just what map to choose, like we discussed earlier.
Oh, okay.
And we were also talking about their struggle with the vocabulary, so
Uh-huh.
maybe some scaffolding
Okay.
with
For
vocabulary.
your EL kids. All right, so in intervention, which students will you actually pull to reteach during your intervention block?
Well, I have a few students who really were off on their map, so
Okay.
the student that is using the
Okay.
most basic circle map definitely need a reteach.
Okay, so you have a list of those students?
Yes.
Okay. And then for spiral, how will you keep this in front of them as you keep moving forward with other standards?
Making sure that they have a checklist and going back and referencing the maps to make sure that they're choosing the right one to guide their thinking.
Yes, okay, good. And actually making that part of the process that you're checking is stopping at the map choice.
Yes.
Before they get too far using the wrong map.
Right.
Okay. I believe that we are done. Do you feel like you're equipped to go back and help their students?
Yes,
That's
I feel
fair.
a lot better now.